By a certain age, you are supposed to have a career, a partner, a home, and a plan. But who decided this was the correct order? Imagine receiving a map on your 18th birthday. The map has a straight road with numbered checkpoints. Finish school, find a career, get married, buy a house, have children, retire. Everyone around you seems to carry the same map, so you start walking. At first, the road feels normal. You study, work, save money, and chase the next checkpoint. Each time you reach one, people congratulate you. But if you arrive late, they start asking questions, and if you skip one, they may look worried. Without realizing it, life becomes a race against an invisible clock. Psychologists sometimes call this the social clock. It is not a clock hanging on a wall. It is a collection of unwritten deadlines for adult life. Your culture, family, friends, and media help set its hands. By 30, you should have this. By 40, you should have achieved that. The clock rarely asks what you actually want. It only tells you when you are falling behind. But here is where it gets interesting. Two people can have completely different lives and still feel late. One person may be single and want a relationship. Another may be married but dream about freedom. One may want children and worry about time. Another may not want children but feel pressured to explain why. The problem is not always the missing milestone. Sometimes the problem is the scoreboard. Imagine 5 runners standing on different roads. One road crosses a city, another climbs a mountain, a third follows the ocean, a fourth circles back toward home, a fifth disappears into a forest. Now imagine comparing their positions on one straight chart. The comparison would make no sense, yet we often measure human lives exactly this way. We place careers, relationships, homes, and families on one timeline. Then we ask why our position looks different from someone else's. Social comparison makes this pressure even stronger. Our brains naturally look at other people for information. We notice who has more money, more stability, or more recognition. This can help us learn, but it can also turn someone else's life into our measuring stick. And social media gives that measuring stick an endless supply of examples. A friend posts an engagement photo. A former classmate announces a promotion. Someone buys a beautiful home. Another person shares pictures of a new baby. Your screen becomes a parade of completed checkpoints. Meanwhile, you see your own life from behind the scenes. You see the unpaid bills, uncertain plans, and unfinished decisions. You compare their polished signpost with your messy construction site. The surprising part is that many people on your screen feel behind too. The married person may envy the single person's freedom. The homeowner may feel trapped by debt. The successful manager may miss the career they never explored. The new parent may love their child and still miss their old identity. Everyone appears to be ahead from the correct camera angle, but that is not the whole story. The social clock is not the same everywhere. Its deadlines change across countries, communities, families, and generations. In one place, leaving home at 18 may signal independence. Somewhere else, living with family may signal loyalty and wisdom. One community may celebrate early marriage. Another may value education and career first. The clock feels permanent because we grew up hearing it tick, but its hands were built by people, and anything built by people can be questioned. Consider a woman named Emma. At 32, Emma had a stable job and a good apartment. She had close friends and enough money for a comfortable life. Yet every family gathering made her feel like a missing puzzle piece. Her cousins were married, some had children, several owned homes. Emma had none of those things. So she created a mental chart. Each cousin received a row of green check marks. Emma's row contained empty boxes. The chart seemed to prove that she had failed. Then one question changed the entire picture. If nobody could see her life, which boxes would she still want to fill? Emma imagined removing every audience. No relatives, no classmates, no social media, no curious coworkers. The empty boxes suddenly looked different. She still wanted meaningful work. She wanted deeper friendships. She wanted to travel slowly, not rush through airports. She might want a partner someday, but she did not want marriage simply to silence the clock, and she was unsure about having children. For the first time, uncertainty did not look like failure. It looked like honest information. Here is where many people make a mistake. They believe there are only two choices: follow the standard timeline or reject every traditional milestone. But freedom does not mean choosing the opposite of everyone else. That would still allow the crowd to control your direction. Real freedom means examining each checkpoint separately. You may genuinely want marriage. You may genuinely want children. You may want a house, a demanding career, or a quiet retirement. Those choices do not become false because they are common. The important question is whether they are yours. Imagine placing every milestone on a separate card: career, marriage, home, parenthood, wealth, status, travel, community. Now sort the cards into 3 piles: things you deeply want, things you do not want, things you have never seriously examined. That third pile may be the most important. It contains the goals that entered your life without permission. Perhaps you chase a promotion because success always meant moving upward. Perhaps you want a large house because adulthood was drawn that way. Perhaps you fear being single more than you desire a relationship. The outside result can look perfectly successful, but the inside can feel strangely empty. That emptiness is not always ingratitude. Sometimes it is a signal. It may mean your feet reached a checkpoint your values never selected, and that changed everything for Emma. She stopped viewing her life as an unfinished version of her cousins' lives. She drew a new map. This map had no ages printed beside the checkpoints. It included close friendships, creative work, health, travel, and contribution. Some roads were straight, others curved or ended completely. There was even blank space for goals she had not discovered. Her life did not instantly become easier. She still heard questions at family gatherings. She still felt pressure when another announcement appeared online. But now she could recognize the sound. That is the social clock, not necessarily my own desire. Recognizing the clock creates a small gap. Inside that gap, you can make a choice. So how can you tell whether a goal belongs to you? Start by asking what you expect the goal to give you. If you want a promotion, is it about meaningful work or public approval? If you want marriage, is it about partnership or fear of being left behind? If you want a home, is it about stability or proving you are an adult? Then imagine the goal without applause. No announcement, no photographs, no congratulations. Would the daily reality still appeal to you? Finally, examine the cost. Every path has one. A demanding career may cost time. Parenthood changes freedom and responsibility. Remaining child-free may bring social pressure. Marriage requires compromise. Independence can sometimes feel lonely. A real choice includes both the reward and the price. The goal is not to design a life without discomfort. The goal is to choose which discomfort has meaning. You may still feel behind sometimes. That feeling does not prove you are on the wrong road. It may simply mean you can see someone else's road more clearly. There is no single finish line for adulthood. There are only different lives, different values, and different seasons. Some people find their work early and love later. Some build families before careers. Some begin again at 50. Some never want the milestones others consider essential. A life can be unusual without being incomplete. So picture that old map one final time. The straight road is still there. You can follow parts of it if they lead somewhere meaningful. You can leave it when they do not. You can pause, return, erase a checkpoint, or draw a new branch. The invisible clock may continue ticking, but you do not have to organize your entire life around its hands. Being behind only makes sense when everyone is heading toward the same destination, and they are not. You are not late to your own life. You may simply be arriving on a timeline you finally chose. If you enjoyed the content of this video, please subscribe to our channel. And if you'd like to suggest a topic for a future video, leave us a comment. Thank you very much.